Well, hello everyone, I hope you're all doing well. Today, bit of a change of plan. I was hoping to video in Dartmoor today, but fate has kind of played its hand again. I'm suffering from an awful gout flare-up. It's slowly recovering, but I think it's too painful to go and walk on uneven ground, so I'm just testing over a quick dog walk. But yeah, I think I made the right choice in not going today.
The gout's easing, but the foot's still tender. Doesn't stop the pull though. Dartmoor's been on my mind for days. There's a place by the river, hidden in the woodland, where the light shifts and everything feels a little older, a little quieter. I don't know what I'll find there, but that's part of it. For now it's just the lane, the stillness, and the thought of what's waiting out there.
So anyway, not going to lie, my foot is still a bit tender, so I've changed my location. I'm going to go down to the beach today rather than Dartmoor and basically see how it goes on. If I survive this, I might go further afield. Well, I've just had my first glimpse of the sea on the way down and the waves look pretty epic, so I'm going to try some long exposure photography, revisit what I did last time when I was on this beach, and hopefully not drown the camera.
Well, I finally made it down to the beach at Ayrmer Cove. My foot slowed me a bit, and walking on the sand was tougher than I expected. I'm going to focus my photography in this small area of rock. The weather's closing in, so I need to work quickly before the rain arrives. I won't be filming the shots themselves, it's just too gusty to manage two cameras on tripods. Today, I'll keep things simple. No focus stacking, no stitched panoramas, just straightforward photography.
Really raining. I'm going to sit this out because I'm hoping at the end of it we're going to have some good light again. But anyway, here's a couple of shots I've taken in the last 5 minutes, and hopefully get some more in a minute.
These are the first photos I rushed to take before the rain arrived. The first one turned out alright, but the second had a lot more promise. Unfortunately, you can see some ghosting, where the tripod sank into the sand after a rogue wave washed over. Just one of those reminders that the sea has the final say, and sometimes you have to work with what you're given.
Well, I'm hunkering down from the rain again. It's just about stopped, so I'm going to go and take some more photos. You know what? I am soaked through. I am cold, but I am so happy. It's a long time since I've had photography like this.
In my next image, the rocks in the foreground melt into soft mist, while a jagged shard of stone rises against the horizon. For this shot, everything started to align. The tripod held steady, the tide was in the right place, and the long exposure created the ethereal mood I was chasing. I also used Enhancer Pro in the edit to bring in more of that subtle film look, which I think really adds to the atmosphere.
Anyway, the sun's out now, so I'm going to go out. I'm so glad I brought a bit of lens cloth with me because my lenses are getting dripping wet. Well, I'm not sure if you can hear me above the water, but the tide is currently at its highest, so I'm going to wait a few minutes, well, possibly an hour, just to wait for it to recede a bit and hopefully get a bit more cloud in the sky, because while it's lovely and sunny, I would like a bit more drama in the sky. Obviously not the rain, but I don't think I'm going to have everything my own way today. I've already got some good pictures, I think.
After taking shelter from the rain, I returned to the beach to find the light and tide had shifted. The first image here was taken earlier, when the sea felt softer and the rocks seemed to dissolve into the mist. Quiet, almost subdued. But an hour later, the tide had changed the scene completely. In the second image, that jagged shard of rock now stands proud against the swirling water, the surfaces glistening in the light. It's a reminder that at the coast, nothing stays the same for long. Sometimes just waiting, through the rain, through the tide, can reveal a whole new photograph.
Well, I think I'm going to call it a day now. I've had some really good photography, but I'm struggling a bit with the wind and the... Anyway, I think I'm going to call that a day. I'm going to start walking back up to the car.
Spending time here reminded me that nothing stays the same for long. The tide shifts, the light breaks, the rain passes, and the scene transforms. Photography teaches you to be patient, but it also teaches you to notice how change carries its own beauty. Sometimes the best moments only arrive when you wait for them.
That's a really enjoyable day. Now, I've struggled with a few things, my foot being one of them. The other thing was the wind. It was so gusty. My tripod is pretty flimsy. I mean, it's a good, nice travel lightweight one by Manfrotto, so it's not a cheap tripod, but wow, the wind, just too gusty. I'm not sure how many pictures I've actually got that are sharp. Possibly none. Well, I think that's besides the point, because as I said, it's been such a great day. If nothing else, I've sat by the beach in very changeable conditions and it's just been truly epic. So yeah, as I said, great day. Anyway, I'm back in a nice warm office and I've reflected on what was a great day down at the beach. Thankfully my ankle held out. I found walking on the sand quite painful, but other than that, not too many problems. So hopefully on my next video, I'm going to venture further afield and see how it holds out. Anyway, it was so gusty down the beach. I didn't record as much video as I would normally do, hence I'm doing this little segment here. But the other thing is, I'm so glad I brought lens wipes with me. It was just so sprayy. I was continually wiping off the spray off the lenses and the actual camera to protect it. So I'm glad I had those with me, because otherwise I think it would have been a very unsuccessful day. And the other thing that I've come to realise, now I've switched to the medium format system, a Fuji GFX100, so it's a bit of a learning curve. And one of the things I was really hankering for was a wide angle lens. But I felt on today's shoot in particular that I could have actually done with a telephoto, so I could actually get away from the water's edge a bit more and still close in on some of the rocks without getting covered in so much spray. So that's one thing I need to consider in the future, whether I go for the wide angle or the telephoto. In the ideal world, I would get both, but unfortunately I have a job. This is a hobby, so it's going to be one or the other, and saving up for either of them. It won't be an instant thing with all the bills and stuff. But anyway, great day all the same. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. I've included a brief slideshow just after this video of the before and after images. So thank you for watching, and until the next video, see you later.